All right. All right, I'm going to call to order the October 19th, 2023 Norton Select Board meeting. All 5 members of the board are here. Denise Luciano, Meg Arts, Alec Rich III, Steve Hornsby, and myself, along with the town manager, Mike Units. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so we have a couple of or several appointments to start with tonight. So I'm going to ask Chief Clark to come in. He has a couple of appointments that he would like to discuss.
Good evening. So I'm here to recommend that you appoint 2 town residents to full-time civil service police officer positions. Jared Fucci, who's right to my right, and then Brian Sullivan, who's next to him. Mr. Fucci is a graduate of Norton High School, has a bachelor's degree from Roger Williams University, and also has been working with the police department as part of the civilian traffic control unit. And Mr. Sullivan is a graduate of Norton High School as well, has a bachelor's degree from Framingham State University, and has also been working as a civilian traffic control person. They both passed the background checks, medicals, psychologicals, physical agility tests, and meet the requirements of the new Peace Officers Standard and Training Commission. So I would ask that you appoint them. The Jared Fucci's appointment would be December 4th, 2023, and Brian Sullivan's would be February 26th, 2024.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Go ahead, Denise.
Are these filling spots that had been left open?
So we have 2 open positions right now. We're actually down 3 positions. This is going to backfill 2 of them. One was from a resignation last February, and one is a pending retirement.
Okay, great, thanks.
And then just a question, why February?
So the academy, Jared will go to the academy in December and graduate in May. Then there's an 8-week FTO program, and I think it would be too much to have 2 people graduating at the same time at the end of the fiscal year, when it's like when nobody's around in May and June, and everybody's on vacation and stuff. I think it would be too much for our department to handle.
Okay. Any other questions? So the first date, you said Jared's date was December 4th, and Brian's date was February 26th?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll move to appoint Jared Fucci as a full-time civil servant police officer effective December 4th, 2023.
Second.
All right. We're going to be slow tonight?
Second.
All right. Okay, so here a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's a unanimous passage.
All right, now motion to appoint Brian P. Sullivan as a full-time civil service police officer, effective date February 26th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, also unanimous. All right, welcome.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Hope you don't meet my children.
Good point.
Thanks. Good luck.
Remember the name Arts.
Thank you, Chief, very much. Good to see you.
Thanks, Chief Clark. All right, next up we have an appointment to move someone from the alternate member of the Recreation Commission to a permanent member. I don't think Emily is here tonight, but I'll take a motion to make the appointment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
This is to modify the appointment?
Yep, she's currently an alternate member, so she's just going from an alternate member to a permanent member.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to modify the appointment of Emily Anderson from alternate Recreation Commission member 2025 to permanent Recreation Commission member 2024.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, vote is unanimous. And then we have another appointment for the Recreation Commission. I know in our packets there was some background for Josh as well. Seems pretty qualified and well-known in town, so I'll take a motion to make the appointment.
I'll make a motion to appoint Josh Glazer as an alternate member of the Recreation Commission.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And next up, I'll turn it over to the town manager. We have discussion of the Bristol County Advisory Board representative.
So currently, Michael Toole is the representative for the town to the Bristol County Advisory Board. And they recently reached out to see if there was any change. I did reach out to him. He said he would be willing to stay on it. The Bristol County Advisory Board meets quarterly at night. And the advisory board is, review anything but the county budget and projects or anything the county is taking on.
Is that typically a select board appointment or no?
It doesn't have
It
to.
doesn't have to be.
Okay, so go ahead.
It is one of the rare evening ones that's available. I wouldn't mind offering up the ability to do it on a quarterly basis. It's not a heavy lift, so I'll just throw it out there.
Okay. All right, anyone else? Okay.
No, that's good. Their first meeting is November 9th, and I wouldn't make that anyway, so I'm happy to nominate Denise as the representative of the Bristol County Advisory Board.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. So hearing a motion and a second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so it's Denise Luciano.
So, Mike, do I reach out to somebody?
I'll let them know, and I'll give them all your contact information so they can
Perfect.
reach out.
Thank you.
Okay, and next up is the appointment of a GATRI Advisory Board representative.
And GATRA meets during the day, and probably more than every quarter. I would imagine more likely monthly. And Michael, I think, is currently the rep to GATRA also.
All
So it's
right.
going to be one of us.
Yeah, right.
I would be interested in that.
Okay. All right.
At that time.
I'll make a motion to appoint Alec Rich as the GATRA Advisory Board representative.
I'll second it.
Okay, hearing a motion to second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alec Rich.
I'll let him know.
All right.
We're tearing through it.
Yeah, see, now we're moving. All right. Take a motion to approve the minutes from the September 28th meeting.
Oh, sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 28, 2023.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Does that include the executive?
I was just looking at that. We're going to approve the executive as well.
Yes,
Executive session minutes. Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the executive session minutes from October 5th, 2023. Open and executive session.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous.
So a motion to approve the October 5th minutes. Just regular session, right? Open and executive.
So it sounds like we did the open session for the 28th, and then open and exec for October 5th. So we still need to do exec for September 28th.
Oh, did you say the 5th?
Yeah, we
For the
just did.
28th.
Yep, yep, sorry.
28th again. Yeah, okay. So I'll motion to approve the executive session minutes for September 28th.
Second.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Kind of went around a bit to do that, but we got it done.
You
All right.
following at home?
All right, so we do have, just a reminder to everybody, we do have a public hearing coming up at 7:15. So we'll start with the announcements. We might not get through them all, but I'll turn it over to the select board clerk to do the announcements.
Okay, first announcement is the DeFossis Peterson Memorial Food Drive being held October 21st, 10 to 1. Please place your bags of donated food and paper at your mailbox Saturday, October 21st at 10. And the donations will be picked up. You asked to contact Roger Marsan at 508-339-3341 to let him know. And it's sponsored by Marsan's Upholstery, C2 Foundation, and Norton Police. Second announcement is the Friends of Borderland and MSG Memorial present the 2023 Haunted Hayride at Borderland State Park, 259 Maspog Ave, Northeastern. It's the Haunted Hayride Friday and Saturday, October 20th and 21st, this weekend, 6 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $10 a piece. And they're also looking for volunteers. You can go at nortongsc@gmail.com for more info. Then we have the Goat City Pub fundraiser for the Norton Historical Society on Monday, October 23rd. Does everybody know what that is? That's the, is it 20% of your ticket is donated to the Historical Society. Again, Monday, October 23rd.
That's for takeout or dine-in.
Yeah, it is.
And it's right before the town meeting, or it's the night of the town meeting, so get your food beforehand, bring these tickets. You have to have this ticket in hand, I think.
And then we have the 30th Annual Chartley Halloween Parade being held Sunday, October 29th from 12 to 2. And that is, I gotta read, the veterans, the VFW and Veterans Council is also having a float this year. And any and all veterans, regardless of era, are welcome to participate. If you are a veteran and would like to participate but need transportation, please contact the Veterans Agent at 508-285-0274 or Roger Marsan at 508-339-3341, and we can provide transportation to and from the parade. The town would love to thank you for your service.
All right, one thing about that though, who from the board is going to be at the Halloween parade? Are we all going to be there?
We're all gonna be there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, marching?
Yeah, we walk the whole thing.
Yeah.
Throwing candy.
And you have to buy a lot of candy. Like a ridiculous amount of candy. Yeah.
I'm not
I don't know
sure.
with my kids' sports, that's what I'm
Okay.
just trying to wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
I'll be at that one. I'm unfortunately going to miss the Veterans Day parade because I'm going to be out of state.
Okay. Well, Steve almost broke his ankle last year during the
Oh my
Halloween
gosh,
parade,
right?
so, yeah, so, it can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So be careful. All right. All right, Alec, one more?
Okay, it is the Veterans Day Parade, which is scheduled from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, November 11th, 2023. The parade will be held, in the event of inclement weather, the ceremonies will be held inside the Henry Yell Gymnasium. And that is on Veterans Day, November 11th, 2023, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Great. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, does anybody else on the board have any other announcements they would like to make? No? All right, so moving forward, it is 7:15. We do have a public hearing scheduled for 7:15 on the application of Fleet First Incorporated for a Class 2 used car dealer's license to buy and sell secondhand motor vehicles. So we need to close the open session, is that right? And then, or do we just open the public session? We just open the public session. So we'll take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
No, right? Second.
Yeah, and it has to be roll call, right? See, I'm getting the hang of this. All right. So it needs to be a roll call vote to open the public hearing. So hearing a motion and a second. Denise?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
Alec?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And I too am a yes. Mike, turn it over to you for any background on this one.
Yep, so right now, you probably noticed that the building has been vacant for a while. There's the store on the right side, and this location is going on the left side of the property. And I don't know if any of the representatives from the dealer are here to come up and talk about it and how many vehicles they plan on having there.
All right. Yeah, please come on up and introduce yourself. If you can give us some more information, that'd be great.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joe Correnti. With a small company named Fleet First. And Michael's point, we're dividing the lot on, basically the lot has been divided. There's been an existing business there for a long time. And when I applied for dealer's license under the town's guidance, they suggested that we apply for a separate license and use that that side of the property. We've had the property resurveyed, spoke to the fire department, spoke to the town manager to make sure that all the boundaries and everything was agreeable, and seek a vote for that.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on the board? Yeah, go ahead, Al.
I do.
Sure.
Joe, are you going to be in direct competition with the guy right next door that runs Midway?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Is it the same license, dealer license?
It's a same type of license. We're actually a very complimentary business. I'm counting on him to be my certified mechanic for most of any warranty work or any. I don't necessarily want to open a garage. I really want to do sales. And the present owner's got a long time, and from what I can tell, a very good reputation. So we're not competing.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
And just how many cars you're going to have at one time? And
It's mostly small commercial vehicles. 90% of what I do now is paratransit vehicles for a lot of the non-emergency medical transport. The business has evolved into that, so it's a lot of it's low volume, higher margin vehicles. You won't see 50 Toyota Corollas on my lot. You'll never see a Toyota Corolla. No offense to Toyota Corollas, but you won't see that type of car on the lot. You'll see paratransit vehicles, ride type vehicles, Gatra type vehicles on my lot for the most part.
And it's just sales?
Just sales.
Just sales?
Yeah, we'll do prep for sale, detailing, clean up, detailing, taking decals off, that type of stuff.
So no, it's not a rental business.
No rent.
No rental.
Not at all.
Do you have a license in another town somewhere?
I do. I have a license in Braintree at this time.
A facility in...
Facility in
Operating.
Braintree. Yep, 40 Arnold Street that my lease is expiring on.
So you're moving to...
I'm moving everything here, ideally. In a perfect world. Yeah.
Yep.
Will any of the vehicles, any of the vans be parked out front, or are they all parked out back?
All in the back on the plans, on the vehicle storage in the back left, and anything prepped to go into the garage. That's it.
So the 7 spots out front are just customers and employees?
Customers, employees, and I think we put 2 handicap spots in there as well, because the office will eventually be in that front office there.
So this is more wholesale?
It's turned into internet, really. Like 90% of the people it's all appointment only for the most part. It's hardly any weekends. There's appointments on Saturday morning, but that's about it. It's not a roaming lot where people will be walking around, get excited about a wheelchair van, so. It won't be that busy.
Never know.
We hope.
All right. Yeah, good.
Just for the license, so we can put on the number of vehicles, what do you see as the number of vehicles that we should put on the license that you'll have on site at any one time?
I think a reasonable number is 25.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. All right, thanks, Joe.
All set. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
I'd like to invite anybody up from the public now who would like to ask any questions or make any comments. Not sure if anybody's in the hallway.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Do you want to? Yeah.
What I'm,
Can you come up to the podium, please?
no, you have to have this.
Thank you. If you could just give us your name and your address, please.
Oh, it's Helen Phillips. I live across the street from the garage.
Okay.
And according to the letter that we got in the mail, I could not understand what this company was going to do. I couldn't hear a word he said.
Sure.
So I wanted to know the hours and what actually is he doing there in the back, and the deliveries at night, and what are the hours? Is he going to work on Sunday?
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So thanks, Helen. Yeah. So we can ask Joe to speak specifically to the hours. The business is sale of commercial vehicles. So
Is he using the front to sell his vehicles
No.
and then work on them in the back?
no, the front will not be used for selling vehicles. The vehicles will all be in the back, and the maximum number of vehicles will be 25.
How, and can you tell me what his hours are going to be?
I'm going to defer that to Joe.
7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Monday through
Seven
Friday,
what?
Through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
and only Monday through Friday. So
Saturday would be an appointment. If there's one person there, it might be doing paperwork.
Appointment only?
Appointment
Yeah,
only.
and no Sunday.
No Sunday.
No Sunday.
And are you going to have deliveries at night
No.
and pickup? When you bring in the cars on your pickup, on the delivery truck, which gate are they going to go in?
The gate between the two buildings. The gate between the two buildings.
Between the two buildings with the chain link?
Chain link, right, the one that swings open next to the parts store.
And, let's see, the name of the building?
Fleet First. Fleet First. All one word. Fleet First.
Oh, okay. Okay. We don't have any objections as long as it's quiet over there.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay. Any discussion amongst the board? No?
So I'm motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Okay. All right, we have a motion to close the public hearing, and it needs to be a roll call vote. Denise?
Yeah. Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
Alec?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
And I am a yes. All right, so the public hearing is closed. We're now back in open session. All right.
Oh, geez. All right. I'll motion to approve the application of First Fleet Incorporated for Class 2 used car dealer's license to buy and sell secondhand motor vehicles at 92A East Main Street, Norton.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yeah, go ahead.
If it's okay in your motion, that will include that there be no more than 25 vehicles, and that the hours of operation are 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Saturday by appointment.
only.
I will amend my motion to that effect.
All right.
Your second still stands?
Second.
All right.
All right, so we have a motion and a second with the additional details from Mike as noted by Steve. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. All right, good luck, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you.
Can we start this one early? We can.
This is, next up is
4
the
minutes.
joint meeting of the,
Squeeze in a couple other papers before.
I'll get up there, it'll be 7:30.
You got 4 minutes, just email us.
I don't remember the rest of it.
okay. All right, so we should just go ahead with that? Yeah. All right, so next up on the agenda is a joint meeting with the Norton Housing Authority Board. The Board of Commissioners, to appoint Elizabeth Dahl to the Norton Housing Authority Board of Commissioners in place of Charles Francis Reynolds. This term expires April 1st, 2024. So is Missy here?
Yes.
Oh, there you are.
Hi, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us on short notice. So we had Charles Francis Reynolds III resign because he moved out of the city, out of the town.
Missy, hang on one
I'm
second.
sorry.
I did a procedural, made a procedural mistake. We have to
Okay.
open the
I'm sorry.
public hearing first, so I apologize for that. Oh, the joint
They have to open
meeting.
their meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys need to open your meeting.
Okay.
Is there a
Ralph?
quorum?
Joanne?
Yeah, I think there's only, how many members do you have? 5?
I have a total of 4 that are on the board.
Okay.
2 are not here and 2 are here. So we have Joanne Collins
Do we need a quorum?
and Ralph Stefanelli.
If they're gonna have a meeting,
They won't be able to call it a meeting, but
yeah.
Okay, okay. All right, good.
do the appointment.
Okay.
Is that okay?
We're all set. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'd like to open a meeting for the Norton Housing Authority for the intention of having a vote of a new member. Fill a vacancy.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Paul gave his approval. We took care of this before, but this is a joint meeting now.
Okay. All right.
Seconded. Any discussion? No? Okay. Yes or no?
All right.
Those procedures.
Okay, they have to do,
Yeah.
I believe.
No, we're already in an open session, so we're good. We're good to
Okay,
go.
good.
Okay.
All right, so Missy, please begin. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. Very confusing. So what we're asking the select board, we did interview Elizabeth Dahl. We had a talk with her to see why she would want to join the Norton Housing Authority Board. Actually, we found out her mother was actually one of the originals. Grandma. Grandma. Was one of the original board members. So we're really looking forward to hopefully appointing Elizabeth Dahl in Charles Reynolds' place until the election year of, I believe he's April of 2024, that she would need to run during that time. So what we're asking of the select board, if you could appoint her to the Norton Housing Authority Board.
Okay. All right, does anybody on the board have any questions? Denise, you look like you have a question.
I always have a look.
It's a lawyer look. You can call us anytime.
I mean, I don't have any questions. Does anybody have anything they want to ask or anything? Okay, so should we just move right to a vote then, Mike? I think we can do that, right? Yeah. Okay, so we'll do I'll take a motion to appoint Elizabeth Dahl to the Norton Housing Authority Board of Commissioners in place of Charles Francis Reynolds, whose term expires on April 1st, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
She got you. That's it. All right. So hearing a motion in a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's unanimous. All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. Welcome to adjourn.
We gotta close it.
Yep. You guys have to
What time
close
is
it. It's 7:30.
Thank you. 7:30 adjourned. Thank you very much.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great rest of your night.
All right.
Thank you.
Good luck, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Hey,
Wait a minute.
Yes. Oh, why you don't want it?
It's in it. It's in it.
You have both my phones too. And all these. Thank you.
All right, next up is discussion on a request to exercise the right of refusal of recreational use, Chapter 61A, regarding lots A, B, C, and D on plan of land of Crane Street and Pine Street in Norton, Massachusetts, and Lot 9-20 on Assessor's Map number 29 on Crane Street. Mr. Town Manager.
Okay, so we received this request on October 10th. By law, you have 120 days either to exercise your right of first refusal or let the owner know you don't wish to do that. I would hope it wouldn't take us that long, but I did send this to all departments and I haven't heard back from everyone. I also sent it to the Land Preservation Society to see if they had any interest in the town purchasing that property. I'd ask that you put this on a future agenda until I contact everyone one more time and see if anyone has any interest.
Do you need a motion to table it, or can we just table it?
You just don't
Okay.
take any action on it. And the price for the property is $950,000, and right now there's a proposal to build 5 single-family homes on the property.
Okay. All right. All right, we'll put that on a future agenda. All right. Next up, Mike's going to give us an update on the host community agreement negotiations.
Tell you the same thing I told you last meeting. Amy Questle answered one of the issues that had been raised, and there was one other issue she was still checking into, and she had some computer issues, so she said she was not ready yet, so hopefully we'll have that all ironed out in the month of November.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, go
if I
ahead.
may, my question is, when we met 2 weeks ago, there was one issue left, waiting for town council, and there's still one issue. So, I'd like to. I mean, this should be. I mean, everybody knows my opinion on this. This should have been done months and months ago. So I don't think there's any reason to not expect this to be at our next meeting for a vote. So is that unreasonable, you think, or?
Well, the only issue there would be whatever, however that issue that she's reviewing gets revised. It's got to go to the proponent, and the proponent will have to have time to review with their attorney. Hopefully they'll be ready.
So our next meeting is November 2nd.
But I'll push it. I'll let you know that that's the intent.
Yeah, I'd personally like to see a response from town council, because at that point it would be a month for one issue, so that's a little concerning to me, but.
Yeah, if we can get it bumped up, that would be good. All right. Any other questions, concerns on that issue? All right.
Just like the,
Yep, go ahead. Alan.
it's been a month it's more than enough time for KP to get back.
Yep, agreed.
You know, computer issues, it's a huge firm.
Yeah, yeah,
I-
yeah, agreed. Yep. Okay. All right. Update on the Traffic Safety Committee. I guess this is on you, Steve, since you're
Yeah.
our representative on the Traffic Safety Committee. I don't think Bob is here.
No, he's not.
Okay, so if you don't mind, Steve, I know we didn't chat about this before, but
No, it's
put you on
okay.
the spot. But
No, it's okay.
yeah.
At our last meeting, we met with, and I'm going to lose his name. Aiden.
Yep.
Yeah, representative from Wheaton College. They had a concern about the speed limit and cars going back and forth between Wheaton in front on East Main Street. And he brought up a really good point that the speed limits are different all the way down that street. So there's if you're heading eastbound past the Common, there's a 40 mile per hour speed limit right before the Pine Street crosswalk, which is kind of insane to me. Directly across the street is a 35 mile an hour, or 30, I think, going the other way. So the Traffic Safety Committee voted unanimously to make this hopefully make this a 30 mile per hour zone from the Common all the way down to 495. When you look through, there's different speed limits, which to me looks like different select board members or select boards have said, okay, let's change this one, let's change this. I think it should be consistent, and that's the thought of the Traffic Safety Committee. We'd like to make it 30 miles an hour from the Common eastbound all the way to 495.
Isn't that federal or no?
No, that one section,
Yes.
that section is under our jurisdiction. Anything
Nice.
westbound of the Common is a state route.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead, Mike.
Well, we could have done that if back in August of 2021, the town meeting had accepted General Law, Chapter 90, Section 17C, that would allow the town to set speed limits however they saw fit, but it was rejected at town meeting. So now, in order to change the speed limit, you have to do a study. So we'll have to hire an engineer to do a study. And as crazy as it sounds, the speed is determined by how fast the cars are going on the road. And I'm sure the chief can come in and explain it better than me, but they look at what the cars, how they'll take Serpent can do it, or we'll hire an engineer, and then we'll have to go to the state, I believe, and have it approved.
Yeah, it'll definitely have to be approved by the state. We did try this, as the town manager said, back in August of 2021 or whatever, and it was voted down unanimously at town meeting. And it was specifically about, we were specifically looking at Southwest Street in front of Home Market Foods at the time. Even one of the people that was regularly complaining was one of the ones that stood up and voted against it. So I don't know how much, luck we'll have doing it again. But the interesting part, as the town manager mentioned, is that, they will look at the speeds and basically calculate the 85th percentile. So there's a chance that if cars are going faster than that speed, it could be increased.
That's insane.
So
Yeah, a lot of the discussion during our meeting was the fact that it's not consistent throughout that road, and I'm sure you know this more than anybody.
That's how they catch people.
So yeah, I mean, we'll go back and we'll figure out what needs to be done to get that done. But I was under the impression we could do it as the road commissioners.
So,
But that's a wrong impression, though.
quick question, since the state is responsible for it, could we ask the state to recommend to the state that we'd like to have that changed and see how they?
No,
The state's not responsible for
this.
They're
stretch.
responsible for approving it if we. It's red tape, is what it is.
Yeah, that's a town road, East Main.
But if we don't have the ability to just change it, we have to get the state to
Because we
approve
voted
it. Why don't we
against
just?
it.
Right, but I guess why don't we just have the state approve it? Like, make a recommendation to the state and ask them to approve
We
it?
have to get the traffic study first
They won't just.
in order for the state to approve it.
Oh.
And that's where it could be higher, could
Gotcha.
end up raising the speed limit.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, I'll work on that with the traffic committee and we'll, because I don't think we need a study for that, but we can figure it out outside of the meetings.
I don't think it's a bad idea to get another speed calming device to put in front of like the area of the library, between the library and Elm Street, to get people's attention.
Like that flashing light?
Yeah.
We've actually discussed that, and the cost of those is something about $7,000 each for each side. So we're I'm not going to give too much away. We're talking with Wheaton about that as well, as far as financing.
I say I've seen that on Bay Road and I think it's pretty effective.
Oh, it's definitely effective.
And I
It's
think
made me slow down.
I think Wheaton said they may help with the cost. They're considering helping with the cost of something.
I don't want to put words in their mouth, but yeah, I mean, I think they funded some of the other ones on East Main, so.
Yeah.
They funded the pedestrian sign,
Yeah.
pedestrian push buttons.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, believe me, this is the better of the scenarios. They wanted to put speed bumps in on East Main. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Right on East Main, so.
Yeah.
And I understand their concern. I mean, with all the pedestrian traffic going back and forth, I think you said 100 plus teachers, in the morning and then in the afternoon, crossing the street, so.
I have seen some of that.
So Chief, the signs that are there now, who put those in, the state or the town?
Which sign?
The existing speed limits.
The 40, the 30,
The ones that are all,
Yeah, I mean,
Not the
it
same.
might have been the highway department, but it would have had to be, like, you can't just randomly come up with a speed limit sign, speed limit for a road.
No,
So it would have, they've been there for forever. I don't know if they've ever changed as long as I've been around.
So is there a requirement or law by the state? Distance between them? Or a requirement that speed limit signs have to be up, period?
I'm not sure. The state has a record of every speed limit sign in town and every road that we have them on, and where they're supposed to be.
So where it's not posted in that area, I don't know if that will be considered densely populated, what is the speed limit when it's not posted?
Yeah, it would be, depending on what area you're in, it would be either 30, 40, or 50 miles an hour, depending on that dense population, like you said.
I think we discussed that when that article came up as well, that we could sort of make the default speed limit right in town or in certain areas 25 or whatever, and that was also part of that article, I think.
That would have given you, a lot more power that you could do with any street in town,
Right.
And there was a benefit to it, and back then it was South Worcester Street, but now you're dealing with East Main Street. There'll be another street at some point in time.
Reservoir Street.
My recollection is that it had something to do with under 30, so I don't have it in front of me, so I'm not going to speak to it, but I think that was the main concern of it. 30, I think, was the limit, and but yeah, we can table this, that one, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Thanks,
you.
Chief.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. So I got one more on there,
There was one more, yep.
Yeah, well, I got a lot, if you want to keep going.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah, please come on up and introduce yourself.
Before we leave
Thank
the
you.
subject of George Haas, 381 South Worcester Street. Before you leave the subject of the highways and traffic safety, the state has put down traffic counting strips, one on Woodard Street and two on South Worcester Street. One coming from John Scott Eddy Street before you get to Woodard, and one after Woodard. And hopefully we're going to get over the limit to have a truck exclusion and get some safety in the area that we're talking about, okay?
Okay. All right, great.
I don't know if you knew about that, Steve.
Yeah, I think Steve's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
talk about
that was one
now.
thing I was going to update as well, yeah, absolutely.
And it's running for a week.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Serpent is counting the vehicles to make sure, to see how many trucks, to count the truck traffic going over there, which we think is going to be over, and which will allow us to put no truck signs.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right.
Steve, if I can put a plug in, obviously, I'm sure you know this more than anyone, but the high school, it blows my mind how crazy it is. And as I have my
LG
middle one,
North as well.
well, but with one that's going to be a driver, I won't even let, it's a nightmare getting in and out of the high school in the mornings and the afternoons. You taking your, I literally I laugh about it, you literally have to just at some point close your eyes and just make that turn because it's insane.
It's funny is I'm going to bring it up at the next meeting too. We have discussed it briefly, but not in depth.
Yeah.
But I drop my daughter off in the morning every morning too, and my office is to the left when you come out of the high school.
Oh,
and
forget
yeah, I
it.
take my life in my hands, taking left there every single
Because
day.
there's got to be something. I
There
don't
was
know.
there was a tractor trailer that
Coming,
people were waiting
right.
to turn left
I
at
know.
the end of the high school, and the tractor trailer just flew right by him.
And these
Almost hit
are,
us,
a
so.
lot of these kids are
Yeah.
new drivers.
Sure.
It's awful.
Yeah. So no, absolutely, that's something we'll bring up there.
Yeah.
The other issue we were discussing was the LG North. The traffic there is pretty rough, and I guess parents pulling up on the side, and you can't see over that little hill there. So the suggestion that was voted again unanimously approved was to put some no parking signs on Plain Street before the LG. I guess it's where the solar farm is, and up to the school, because people parking on that side, it's just waiting for an accident. So that's weird.
It's very dangerous there because
Yes.
I know I go past there sometimes in the morning, and every time I drive by there, I just crawl by there because I'm waiting for a child to run out between those cars that are all sitting.
Yeah,
and
during
parking there.
ball games and stuff too, same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But my question is it parking that's the issue, or is it the line that's waiting to drop off and pick up, which isn't parking, right?
It's both. What parents are doing is they're parking on the side of the road, going up and getting their kids, and then coming back. and their parking, and so it's a
And they are
combination.
staging to drive into.
Yeah,
So you can't
They are
I think
staging
the ones
drive-in.
that park to go in usually are in that little section in between where the entrance and the exit is or whatever. And then like beyond where the fields are, but not usually on the solar side. I've not seen parking there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
it's
back,
definitely
they're
on that
back.
side, yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway, you know where Dale Clark used to live?
Yeah.
They're past there.
I typically avoid it at that time of day now because I know that it's usually busy, but yeah, when I was going by before, it was usually just a line of cars waiting to drop off their
So-
kids.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
No, it's okay.
We're supposed to have a joint meeting at some point with the school committee, I think, coming up in November.
November 13th.
November 13th. Is this something we should discuss at that
I think
meeting?
so.
To
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah,
FinCom
I
too.
agree.
options?
a good idea.
FinCom too, yeah, but yeah, they can join.
Yeah.
You know?
They can listen.
To that
They might
point,
need
we-
to pay for traffic.
Yeah, yeah.
To that point, we have a rep from the school, not the school committee, but from the schools on the traffic safety committee. And we're kicking around the ideas of having parents park in the lot for the ball field. And they might have somebody as far as directing
A crosswalk
crossing
person.
guard, yeah. But in the meantime, the thought process was to put those no parking signs on there so people won't just be parking and leaving their vehicles. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, if you have somebody who doesn't know what's going on, they drive up that road, they could, hit a child.
Yeah.
We don't want that at all.
Hey, maybe if we didn't have bus fees that were so expensive, more kids would take the buses.
But I think-
Will
I
you
think
talk
for
about that in
age
the
you
bus
don't-
fees, or?
I don't think you do for that age though.
Unless you're 2 miles, if you're within 2 miles, you do.
So I thought the really young grades it was free no matter
Same
what.
thing,
No,
yeah.
within 2 miles.
Yeah.
You have to pay.
So, sorry, had to get that in there.
So I put this on here, I put this on here as a vote. I didn't know if we had to vote for those no parking signs. I mean, Mike could tell me about, but,
No, you can just, let
Highway do it.
okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, I
I'm
think,
doing it.
Are we gonna wait till the meeting with the joint meeting? with the-
yeah, just to talk about maybe some other ideas, to talk about the high school traffic situation, talk about, let's just have it with them there, so
Make
Jen.
sure we're getting the best solution kind of.
Yeah, and we want Jen to be involved, I think, Dr. O'Neill, I think we want her to be involved, and just get her thoughts on, what we might be able to do, what we might not be able to do. So, I mean, there's not a lot of, I'm not an expert, but there's not a lot of property around there to, make a new parking lot or anything like that. So
Right.
try to come up with some ideas like using the ball fields across the street, having a crosswalk. Maybe there's something else that they've thought about too. So I'm just thinking if we're all going to be together, it's a good chance to talk about it.
Yeah, I
So-
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Thank you. Steve, appreciate that.
Sure. I got more if you want.
That's the only ones on the agenda. So, other business, topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance. We do have something that came up yesterday that Alec has asked to speak to. So, Alec.
All right,
Over to you.
so this is for the Halloween Spooktacular that the VFW and Veterans Council is hosting Friday and Saturday, October 27th and 28th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We're respectfully requesting the vote to close Summer Street, which has been customary in the recent years during the times of that for the haunted hayride for the kids. And that's the Friday and Saturday, October 27th and 28th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Okay. So do you want to go ahead and make a motion for that?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to close Summer Street for the haunted hayride Friday and Saturday, October 27th and 28th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. pending police and fire approval as well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
I'll second.
Okay, hearing a motion in a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you, Alec.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along. Next item on the agenda is a discussion and/or vote on the naming of the Senior Community Support Center. I think Ruth Schneider is here. So I'm going to ask Ruth to come up.
Telling me to stand up.
Oh, my goodness. So thanks for coming in, Ruth. And I'm just going to turn it over to you for comments to get us started. So, yep.
Hello. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of the Senior Center. As many of you know, I'm Ruth Snyder, Chairperson of the Council of Aging. Our mission for the Council of Aging is to enhance the lives of the Norton older residents by identifying their needs and developing programs, activities, community involvement, and resources to provide older residents with the tools to be independent, productive, and enrich their lives. At our August Council of Aging board meeting, the board voted unanimously to name our new, long overdue, I had to put that in, facility, the Nelson Senior Community Center. This decision was supported by data collected from a survey conducted by the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. 2 interns, college interns, took the survey, and it came up that 58% of the seniors surveyed wanted the building to be named Norton Senior Center, compared to 28% who wanted it to be called a community center. The programs that are offered at our senior center are fully funded by the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and our grants come from Bristol Elder Services and the Massachusetts Council of Aging. Our new facility was specifically designed to support these programs and to meet the unique needs of the senior population. We have over 4,800 Norton residents over the age of 60. As a whole, we are very active, productive, vibrant. We contribute greatly to the town of Norton, and aging and being a senior is something to be celebrated and nothing to be ashamed of. The suggestion of naming the new facility the Nelson, I keep saying Norton, Nelson Community Center is very misleading. Naming the building a community center makes people think that our primary purpose is similar to a YMCA or a Boys and Girls Club. We definitely are not that. While we do serve our community with support of all ages and various concerns, we are definitely not a community center. So, yes, no one is ever turned away, and we love our students when they come in and they're interns with us and they volunteer with us, but again, we are a senior center. We, the Council of Aging, respectfully urge you to reconsider keeping the name Nelson Senior Community Center, or even to compromise with us and simply call it the Nelson Center. Thank you for listening to me. I hope to see you at our November 9th meeting. I hope you got that letter. Last of all, on May 8th, 2021, we had a special town meeting where we voted for a new senior community support center, and the people of town voted that. So seriously, I believe we should have it called the Nelson Senior Community Center. Thank you for thinking about it, and thank you for having us.
All right. Thank you, Ruth.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Does anybody have any, on the board, anybody have any comments or questions?
I don't have any questions, but I guess the Nelson, my take on it was the Nelson Senior Center seems very exclusionary to the community. And I think that at the time when we were going to the town for funding for the building, there was a lot of talk about possibly having access to some of the community organizations to hold meetings there and that kind of thing. So I just want to make sure that we are not sort of misrepresenting what we said when we were getting the funding to what we're saying now when we're actually going to have the building available, right?
Apparently, later on in the evening, if Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts want to use the building, that's an option. That's something that can definitely be talked about. But during the day, the senior center is used as exercise. We have programs. I mean, maybe there might be one half afternoon that nothing is going on.
I don't want to diminish the importance of the senior portion of it. I think it's very important. I just don't want to diminish the importance of the community.
Well, what I'm saying right now is the senior center is occupied every day with senior programs. to the point where we have hired the VFW for our bingo. We have outgrown, we had to go to the VFW for our bingo. We have 2 exercise classes done at the VFW.
Yeah.
Ruth, may I ask, you did recommend that it would be the Nelson Senior Community Center?
Right.
So this community is still part in the
It's still part of it. It's
So-
not- we
Right.
voted to have it Norton Senior Community Center.
Got it. So now it would be the Nelson
It's-
Senior Community
It's
Center.
got both in there.
Right, okay. So I think we were thinking it was not in there. Community.
I think that's a perfect
Okay.
happy medium.
Well, so I think.
Nelson Community
Isn't that what I
Center.
proposed last time?
So I think senior community implies to me that it's just the senior community, right? Versus, I think Kevin suggested last time, senior and community, which is a little bit different, right? It's the seniors and the community that are welcome to go to the facility.
Right, I had thrown the "and" in there just to.
That's right.
Which I thought was a nice
That's
compromise
right.
as well, yeah.
Ruth, what do you think of that?
Of what?
If we named it the Norton,
The Nelson.
Nelson.
That's what I did that whole meeting.
It's been a
I
long
said,
day,
Norton.
Ruth.
Nelson Senior and Community Center.
That's fine, yeah, that's what we, Norton, yeah. Nelson. Nelson. That's what my brain. Nelson Senior and Community Center. Yeah,
I
that's
think-
fine,
I think
yes.
that's a good compromise.
Yes.
You're okay with the and?
you're okay with the "and"?
Would love that, thank
Okay.
you.
All right.
Is someone?
Oh, sorry, yes, so thank you, Ruth.
You're welcome.
We'll be happy to take some more comments because I know everybody came here tonight. So please just give us your name and your address, please.
Pat Swicker, 9 Clapp Street. I serve on the Council on Aging Board, and I'm also a volunteer there every week. The reason we call it the Community Support Center, we don't call it the Community Center when we speak of it, is we also house Human Services. And Human Services serves the entire town. We have fuel assistance, we have assistance for insurance for people that can't afford insurance. We have food services, from babies on up to our seniors. We support everything the rest of the town needs. And I get your point about other things coming in, but that center is, well, some days we have 6 things going on in that tiny little center. We do use the DFW classes. I mean, we have 8 exercise classes a week in that center.
Yeah.
Not to mention we have grab-and-go lunches 4 days a week. So somebody, we have staff there to take care of that. We have classes for things that, enjoyment classes, crochet, cards. We have so much going on. There's days when I look at that calendar and think, how do we do this?
Yeah.
So-
I don't think the thinking is that that the community stuff would supersede the senior importance, right? I think there can be a good mesh, because I think the community stuff tends to happen a little bit more later in the evening, daytime, right?
And I get that. The thing is, then you have to have staff there. We have 3 people on staff for that center, and we're hoping to get more staff for the new center. The other thing is, what we are looking at is, there's a lot, seniors are 60 and up. There are a lot of people at 60 that are still working. We have been having class at night, an exercise class in the evening for those people that are still working and can't get to the center. Our hope is to focus kind of on that amount of people that are still working and have more night classes for that portion of our eldest people. So we are looking at using the center probably in the future when we get in the new building to be able to enable those people that can't get there during the day to come in the evening to some classes, whether they be educational, physical, whatever. So I don't know what you're thinking of as far as community activities, but
I'm just talking about what was promised to the community when we were looking for the funding, right?
Well,
we talked about using it a little
But
bit more.
the funding was for community support, which again, in our perspective, is the whole rest of the community to serve them. So I think the name that was suggested, which was the Nelson Senior Community Center, is a good fit because we do service the entire community. We don't just service the
Would you be
seniors.
amenable to the senior and community center?
Personally, no.
All right, but I have another idea. So how about the Nelson Senior and Community Support Center?
Kind of long for a sign.
But we could shorten it to the Nelson Center.
Well, I like the Nelson, we had talked about this.
Yeah.
What a lot of us on the board like is the Nelson Center, and underneath that, Council on Aging, all the departments that will be there, Council on Aging, Human Services, and Norton Food Bank.
That's an even bigger sign.
No, it's just a name and then underneath.
I'm gonna, at the risk of cutting this short, I mean, I think most people are on the same page here, so I'm gonna motion to name the Senior Community Support Center the Nelson Senior and Community Center.
I'll second it.
All right. Hearing a motion and a thank you for coming.
Unless there's any other else would like to speak.
Yeah, sure, come on up. Yep.
Apologize.
Sorry, I have to say a name and address, please.
We all know.
Mary Ann Dempsey, 27 Howdy Street. Norton, Mass. 02766. How do you do? I guess my question is, what is the expectation of that community being in there, wanting to take the senior out? Why? I'm just curious.
I don't think I want to take the senior out.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I don't think we're taking the senior out.
Okay.
I think it's trying to be more inclusive. I think part of it is probably we don't have a building yet.
Right.
So there's lots of things we probably are going to end up, hopefully, right? We're going to maximize the use of that building. And part of maximizing the use of that building could be events that support the community as a whole. But I think we're all on board with, and I don't want to speak for the board, but I think we're all on board with the having senior in there for sure. I mean, that is, that's going to be, like you said, 80%, 90% or whatever it is, that's going to be, what we envision is going to be in that building would be for seniors and senior support. So I think that's why we're trying to find something, to Denise's point, that, it's 2 years now, but I think prior, when we were talking about the funding for the center, a big part of that was we need a new senior center because of the condition of the current one, but also the community would have access to that building as well, and that was a key in getting support for the vote and the funding. Yeah. So we just want to make sure we're trying to cover all the, not to be a cliche, but we're trying to cover all the bases so that everything is being represented by the name of the building.
So if the center was to be used for something else other than our senior center at night or weekends or whatever, so you would have people that would come in, clean, make sure that it's, because we really value our senior center and we get nervous that it would, something would happen. I don't want anything to happen. We've all worked hard to get to this point. We've all paid our taxes to get this building.
I think that's more logistical.
Yeah, that's a Mike Units question. Mike?
You could sell out with just like a set of rules. I don't know, something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rules and regulations type thing.
I mean,
You could do it easy, like if you're going to use the space, you have to do these 10 things. You clean the space up.
And we do. I think
Yeah.
the schools do similar things. Like if the schools are being used after hours, they have, you have to make sure you throw your trash away, make sure you clean up. But I'm sure the operation of the facility will, especially since it's a new facility, is going to be a huge.
And they can request a donation for the use.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sure. Why not? Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
If I can just throw out, as someone who will be signing up for Medicare next month, I can say. But there are a lot of people that don't want it to be called a senior center. They don't want that name. That's the other thing you got to look at. There's a lot of people in the age group, in their 60s, early 70s.
But we're a senior
It's
and
a
we
new
can't change that.
It's a new generation. I know, but they don't. There's people that don't like to
No,
be
and I get that.
labeled.
But that's what we are. We're
just
senior,
saying, that's the
middle-aged,
other-
we're middle-aged, we're young adults, we're seniors. That's what we are, and whether we like it or not, I don't actually find it insulting. I mean, I don't care. I'm 61. I'm a senior. Good for me. So
All right.
Yeah.
I just don't like the word old.
Yeah,
No one
I
does.
agree.
Nobody,
Nobody
so I shouldn't amend my
Not the
motion
old
to be the
community center.
old.
A senior center, a seniors, I think is a little bit more better than just saying old. Because a lot of people were saying old people. That's not what we are. I'm not old, I'm not an old person, I'm 61, but I'm not old.
Right.
Right.
But I'm a senior,
Right.
and I've accepted it.
All right. Thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Ruth, did you want to say something else?
If there's such a problem about that, why don't we just call it the Nelson Center?
Okay. Board.
And when it comes about the time to use it as a community center, we'll have been in our new center, we'll know what we're doing, we'll have an opportunity, because I'll tell you, we can't keep the senior center open at night for a community. That's gonna have to be another whole thing talked about, because we don't have the help, and I volunteer there a lot, but that's not my whole life.
That's a whole nother
And
conversation.
that's another whole thing, so if maybe you call it the Nelson Center, and we go from there, let us get in, let us get our feet wet, so we know what we got, then we have something to talk about.
So Ruth, you know I love you, but I've already motioned for senior and community center.
That's just a suggestion.
Okay.
Okay.
That would let us get our feet wet, and we'll know what we're doing a little bit.
We don't want to change it after the.
That's, right, but I mean,
Sign's
by
expensive.
calling it the Nelson Center, it can be used both ways.
I think we got a little closer to
Getting
the
agreement.
main issue here.
Right,
And that is a lot more under the purview of town manager with the directors and whatnot.
because he's going to be
set that up.
65, he feels old.
No old.
No old.
When he retires, he can be running the night shift.
All right. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth, and thank you for coming. So, all right. So we do have a motion and a second on the table for the Norton Senior and.
No,
No,
Nelson.
Nelson.
Jesus.
I'm contagious, I do know.
You know, look, I even wrote down Norton. I even wrote down Norton. All right, maybe that's why I keep saying that. All right, so we have a motion and a second on the table for the Nelson Senior and Community Center. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Can that just be the and symbol?
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Paid by the letter, right?
Yeah. All right. All right. Ruth, thank you again very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Mary Ann, thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
I'll have to stay longer, but I'm getting tired. I'm a senior.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. All right. Steve wanted us to, if he could, go back to the topics not reasonably anticipated. He said he had something that he wanted to bring up. So.
Yeah, I just had something I wanted to bring up. I know there's been an issue with finding a planning director. There's still kind of no prospects on that. All right, so my suggestion, and I don't necessarily think we need a board vote on this, but is to maybe in the interim have somebody part-time in there to help Brian or something, because I know we're saving on the salary, not having somebody
We do
there.
have a prospect there.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to bring up, is that Brian's been doing a job that he really never was hired to do, so, and he, like I always say, like it, I'll wait.
Just wondering is if I could have a copy of what the garage said. I didn't hear a word.
Okay.
That he said.
You want to swing in tomorrow?
Excuse me?
When we get the minutes, I'll give me your phone number.
It's 508.
We'll take a little break.
Yes.
Take a water break.
Yeah.
85, sorry. 4975.
So how you guys doing tonight?
That's Phil's.
I'm promoting North football.
1-3-0 over. I see that.
I want to do my announcement.
That's
on
okay.
that.
Thank you.
They're having a great
Thanks
year.
for coming in.
They are.
Okay. So,
yeah, we've already closed the conversation, but come on up. You can have a question. Yep. Just introduce yourself and. just introduce yourself, name and address, please.
Francis Riley, 174 Pine Street. And I'm the trustee of my mother's property, which is Amelia C. Riley Realty Trust, which is putting 4 lots on Pine Street and 1 on Crane. And most of you have all of the notices of all that. We have a purchase and sales. All I'm asking is if you're not going to, after you make a decision, if you can't afford it or whatever, please let us know as soon as you can so this builder can start doing perks and don't have to wait until the winter or whatever. It would be appreciated. I know when we work with Mansfield, and we had to wait the 120 days, they wanted another day after the 120, and it just didn't happen that, but I would appreciate it. I've asked in Mike's office, if you don't want it, let us know as soon as possible.
I'd be surprised if it was longer than November.
The next meeting.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it was further than the next meeting,
Yeah, and Mike, if you can just ask your department heads to get back to you quickly, that'd be great.
All right, I tried to give it to the water department. I spoke with you about it on a friendly matter before we had a purchase and sale, just to save the land and keep it the way it was, but it apparently didn't work out. So I have relatives that don't want it the way I want it. Okay? I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. All right.
So, this is when we need the gavel.
Yeah.
So what I was saying was that Brian has been single-handedly holding that department down, and I always give him credit, but do you have somebody that may be coming in to assist him? Okay, that's all I wanted to bring up. Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right, next up is town meeting articles. Thank you. Yes. So, town meeting articles. So I'll turn it over to Mike.
Okay. So let's see. There's about 6 or 7 articles that you haven't voted on yet. The first article, Article 3, that's the article to fund the collective bargaining agreements that were approved. And the Finance Committee is recommending that $94,574 from free cash be used to fund the articles.
Is that going to cover it?
Yes.
All right. Anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Recommend.
Approve.
Is it approve or recommend?
Recommend.
Recommend.
Article 3.
I would recommend Article 3, collective bargaining agreements in the amount of $94,574.
Second.
Okay. All right, hearing a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Just for the record, Steve had to step out, so that's the 4 other select board members.
And then Article 4 is an article to amend the operating budgets. And the Finance Committee, you have them in your packet. And the Finance Committee recommended this article 10-0, and in the amount of $1,021,357. $8,205 will come from the dog fund. That's for a repair to a transmission on his van. Raise and appropriate $499,524, and that is the debt exclusion. That's to pay for the notes for the senior center and the community.
The Nelson
Center.
Community Center.
The town hall and the ball field, so that's $499,524. And then the free cash, $513,628. And if you remember back in the spring, the Finance Committee used $707,000 of stabilization so that schools could get funding up front, and it was put off for police and fire. Their budgets were reduced. And so, out of that 513, 628, 381,400 is for police and fire overtime for the most part.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? All right. I'll take a motion.
Is Article 4?
Yep.
Motion to approve Article 4 is written.
Second.
Okay, hearing a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Article 7 is funding for our capital improvement, and the Finance Committee recommended 9-0. $1 million from free cash be put into the capital improvement fund.
Motion to approve Article 7 is written.
Recommend.
I recommend, I'm sorry.
With $1 million from free cash.
What was
Second.
Let's do that one again. Steve, do that one again.
A motion to recommend Article 7 as written.
Okay. Hey, all.
What's your question?
I had a question on it.
Yeah, sure.
What was the amount that we did, the Capital Improvement Committee?
That is, did you already vote?
We did.
You have,
Yeah.
The Capital Improvement Committee,
okay.
not us.
I'm just looking to see. No, you haven't voted on that yet, so it's the next thing. We'll be doing the capital plan, but anyways, $806,981 is what was approved. Coming out of the capital.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, did we have a second on Article 7?
Yes, second.
May, okay. All right, any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Article 8 is the capital improvement plan amendments. So these are some of the things that were presented back in May and were put off. And the plan that's recommended, as I just said, the total plan is $1,306,481. $806,981 comes out of the capital improvement fund. $499,500 from ambulance, and $100,000 from sewer retained earnings.
So a motion to recommend Article 8 as written.
I have just one quick question. So we just did the million for capital improvements above. So it's capital plan amendments, is that an addition? So is that additional?
No, so we put the $1 million in so that we could spend it.
Right.
So then now we're spending it.
So we only spent 806,000 of that million. The other 200,000 sits for the next time?
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And so and there was a balance in capital of $311,600. So we'll be starting next May with $504,679 in capital.
Okay, thanks for clarifying for me.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion. I don't think we have a second yet.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Article 18. This is a bylaw amendment for the personnel bylaws, and the Finance Committee recommended this 10-0. And so this will involve $1,400 from free cash. What this is amending the longevity payment for the employees that are under the wage and salary plan. and it would be in line with what Senior A has for their longevity.
I think I have that as Article 17.
Yeah, they updated the numbers.
Okay,
yeah.
17.
Article 17, okay, just to make sure.
Sorry.
Okay.
So motion to endorse the Article 17 as written.
Okay.
I'll second, sorry.
All right. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Article 20, this is the stabilization fund, and the Finance Committee voted 9-1 to put $1 million into the stabilization fund, $1 million for free cash.
I think that updated article is 19.
19.
So I
19 now, yeah.
motion to endorse Article 19 as written.
Second.
Okay. Hearing a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right.
And the last one was 21, but it's now 20. Okay, I finally got it right. And this is to approve the withdrawal for the fire department from civil service, and the Finance Committee recommended 10-0.
So I'll motion to endorse Article 20 as written.
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And that's all of them. So we do not anticipate having to have another, well, we can't now, I don't think.
The Finance Committee's just going to have a quick meeting before town meeting because they approved the change to the longevity, but they never included in their motion 1,400 for free cash. So they're just going to have a quick meeting before town meeting to do that.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, next up we have the Select Board Code of Conduct. Where are we on that?
I did bring my computer to bring it up, the redlining, to go over it, but I don't know if you guys want to start that now. It's almost 8:30. Or wait till there's a light meeting, because there's not really an urgency to it, right?
I see Alec nodding, so I want to go with Alec.
Yeah, I would.
Otherwise, Kevin would have said,
There's a lot of meaty, there's a lot of meaty changes in here to kind of go through, so.
I'd motion to table it. Just there's.
Okay, no, that's fine. I think that's good. We'll try to find a light agenda to do that.
Yeah.
One night. And then the next update on the town report and photo. I actually just had a question for Mike.
Yeah.
Didn't we already took the photo, right?
That was last year's.
Last year.
Oh, that was last year's?
We want to get you aging.
We were so late last year.
We want to get you aging each year.
Wow.
That's why I said, can you just use the picture you took back in 2011?
Like your driver's license 10 years ago, and then maybe take a new one.
Just like Photoshop them in? Okay. Yeah, I apologize. I have not reached out to Mike or is it Michelle? Mike and Michelle yet to get this going. So, but I have started putting together at least some milestones and things that happened during the course of the year. So,
You could just have schedule the photographer just to come to the next meeting, and
Yeah.
that makes it just easy.
Yeah, so we can do that, and then hopefully have a draft for the next meeting. Because, like I said, I did start to put together some bullet points on things that have occurred in the town in the past year. So, all right.
Can I just add?
Yep.
So we might go over this later, but the next meeting is on the 2nd?
The 2nd, yes.
Okay. All right. If we do the photo on the 2nd, I can be there. Otherwise, I'm not going to be here for the rest of November. So.
Want me to schedule that?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good. I mean, it seems ridiculous to say it, but make sure business casual or whatever.
Yeah, nobody told me not to wear a tie last time. I was a little tie. So.
Or a bow tie.
I'll wear a bow tie.
Well, I'm promoting Norton football for tomorrow, so
There you
that's
go.
why I'm wearing the
Sounds good.
sweatshirt.
You said the 2nd, right?
The 2nd, the 2nd, yeah.
So Denise, the last time this happened, we just showed up. What was it, half an hour early before the meeting?
Yeah.
And then we took a
We didn't even
group
need a
photo.
half hour, we could do
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah, it was good. So we'll do it, yeah, that sounds great. We'll do it then. All right, very good. Town manager's report.
All right, just wanted to say that we had our rating from Standard & Poor's, and we did maintain a AA+ rating. And I want to thank, the financial team, because one of the things that Standard & Poor's said, one of the reasons for maintaining the AA+ was a strong management environment with good financial management policies, conservative budgetary assumptions, and reserve policies that they refer to our stabilization fund and strong institutional framework. So I want to thank everyone on the financial team that works on that, and it's good to maintain that.
That's great, thank you. Thank you to everyone responsible.
And I just wanted to alert you to, you may hear notices will be going out. Our energy aggregation ends in November, and so the new program will start. And I think you're probably aware that we would not maintain the 10.47, but it's now going up to 15.784 per kilowatt. And unless people opted out, they're automatically in, but they can opt out and back in at any time. So if someone finds a lower rate per kilowatt and they want to opt out, they can opt out. And if anyone has any questions, we've got on the town webpage, we have a link to everything about this. So,
okay.
And information will be going out to people too.
Everything gets mailed out as well? Yeah. Okay. All right, great. Thanks, Mike.
And
one more thing? Yep.
I just wanted to say, as far as clothing, for the migrants staying in Norton, the two churches did a great job, St. Mary's and the Trinitarian, in winter clothing, mostly for adults, so there's still some need for children's clothing, and so they're looking, I have a list and I'll email it out to everybody, and so they're looking for 5 coats size 6 months, 2 coats size 6 to 12 months, 1 coat 12 to 18 months, 2 coats size 3T boys, 1 coat size 4T, and 1 coat children size 8 to 10. And also coats, women's sizes 1 small, 1 medium, 2 large, coats for men size 2 large and 2 medium. So they're pretty well taken care of except for a few. And
right.
Mike, Beth posted it already to her page. I'm going to share it later on as well,
Okay,
but
good.
you can probably just share from her.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll do the same.
And tomorrow, someone's coming in from the Interfaith, the Attleboro Area Interfaith Collaborative, and they're going to be providing grocery gift cards that we can provide to the residents at the extended stay.
Nice. That's great. Thank you for that. All right, got anything else?
That's it.
All right.
Okay, again, my last plug. Dover Sherburne tomorrow at 6:30.
Okay.
Norton High School football.
Home game.
No, away. No,
Sorry.
You're
He's going to have everybody going to the wrong place.
Come on, 6:30.
I approve the warrants as
We're going to
written.
be there for next Thursday's game at home against Medway Bay.
Oh my goodness. That's the last home game, yes. And that's next Thursday.
Select board report and mail, anything? Anybody have anything? Nope.
You already signed.
All right, Steve?
I approve the warrants as written.
Second.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. How about motion to adjourn?
Motion, second.
There you go.
All right, so we have a motion to adjourn and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.